This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away in 1978 in the United States. Before you proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Pat Patterson. She was born in April 1910 and she died in August 1978. Her age was 68 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. Pat Patterson was a British-American actress of the 1930s who retired early after marrying French actor Charles Boyer. Charles Boyer. He was born in August 1899 and he died in August 1978. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and he took his own life. Charles Boyer was a French-American actor who appeared in more than 80 films between 1920 and 1976, renowned for romantic roles in Hollywood classics. He died days after his wife's death. Queenie Smith. She was born in September 1898 and she died in August 1978. Her age was 79 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. Queenie Smith was an American stage, television, and film actress. In later life, she became a talent agent. Today's audiences may know her best for her Southern Belle character roles in the W.C. Fields' Bing Crosby film Mississippi in 1935. Totie Fields. She was born in May 1930 and she died in August 1978. Her age was 48 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was pulmonary embolism. Totie Fields was a bold and beloved comedian, known for her self-depreciating humor and television appearances throughout the 1960s and 70s. Frank Fontaine. He was born in April 1920 and he died in August 1978. His age was 58 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Frank Fontaine was a comedic actor best known for his character Crazy Guggenheim, and was also a talented singer of traditional pop. Ruth Etting. She was born in November 1896 and she died in September 1978. Her age was 81 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Ruth Etting was a popular singer of the 1920s and 30s, known for her hits like Shine On Harvest Moon and her dramatic personal life. Dan Daly. He was born in December 1915 and he died in October 1978. His age was 62 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from anemia. Dan Daly was a beloved musical actor during Hollywood's golden era, known for his charm and talent in musicals. He lit up the screen in the 1940s and 50s. He often starred alongside legends like Betty Grable. His legacy lives in classic American cinema. Gig Young. He was born in November 1913 and he died in October 1978. His age was 64 at the time of his death, and he took his own life. Gig Young was an Oscar-winning actor with a troubled personal life. He played charming yet conflicted characters on screen. His real life ended tragically. Despite his tragic end, his performances remain critically acclaimed. Gene Tunney. He was born in May 1897 and he died in November 1978. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was circulatory failure. Gene Tunney was a world heavyweight boxing champion in the 1920s, known for his intellect and strategy. He famously beat Jack Dempsey. He later became a successful businessman. His career bridged sports and social respectability. Chill Wills. He was born in July 1902 and he died in December 1978. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Chill Wills was a Western character actor, known for his gravelly voice. He appeared in numerous cowboy films and family classics. He also voiced iconic characters in early cinema. His folksy charm made him a favorite in Hollywood. Lee Gomes. He was born in May 1898 and he died in August 1978. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Lee Grounds was an Academy Award-winning cinematographer whose work helped define early Hollywood visual storytelling. Jack L. Warner. He was born in August 1892 and he died in September 1978. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cardiovascular disease. Jack L. Warner was a major Hollywood mogul and one of the founding figures of Warner Brothers, influential in shaping classic cinema. Frank Ferguson. He was born in December 1899 and he died in September 1978. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was cancer. Frank Ferguson was a familiar character actor in westerns and television dramas, known for his authoritative presence. Edgar Bergen. He was born in February 1933 and he died in September 1978. His age was 75 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was kidney disease. Edgar Bergen was a legendary ventriloquist and entertainer, famed for his dummy Charlie McCarthy and influence on radio comedy. Claude P. Detloff. He was born in July 1899 and he died in July 1978. His age was 79 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Claude Detloff was a Canadian photographer best known for capturing the iconic Second World War photo, "Wait for Me, Daddy," a symbol of wartime sacrifice. Mary Blair. She was born in October 1911 and she died in July 1978. Her age was 66 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cerebral hemorrhage. Mary Blair was a pioneering visual development artist for Disney, celebrated for her bold use of color and work on many classic animated films. Enoch Light. He was born in August 1907 and he died in July 1978. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Enoch Light was a band leader and audio innovator, noted for his high fidelity recordings and influence on stereo sound production. Joe Venuti. He was born in September 1933 and he died in August 1978. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. Joe Venuti is regarded as the father of jazz violin, known for his groundbreaking collaborations with guitarist Eddie Lang. Blanche Calloway. She was born in February 1902 and she died in December 1978. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was breast cancer. Blanche Calloway was a pioneering African-American jazz artist, sister of Cab Calloway. She led her own band in the 1930s. She broke racial and gender barriers in music. Her trailblazing efforts influenced generations of performers. Charles Eames. He was born in June 1907 and he died in August 1978. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Charles Eames was a visionary designer and architect who, alongside his wife Ray, revolutionized modern furniture and industrial design. Maybelle Carter. She was born in May 1909 and she died in October 1978. Her age was 69 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Maybelle Carter was a pioneer in American country music. As a part of the Carter family, she helped shape the genre's early sound. Her guitar technique influenced generations. She is remembered as the matriarch of country music. Louis Prima. He was born in December 1910 and he died in August 1978. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. Louis Prima was a dynamic band leader and entertainer, known for his jazz vocals and as the voice of King Louie in Disney's The Jungle Book. Gordon Matta Clark, he was born in June 1943 and he died in August 1978. His age was 35 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pancreatic cancer. Gordon Matta Clark was a radical conceptual artist who transformed architecture into sculptural art by cutting into abandoned buildings. Bruce Catton, he was born in October 1899 and he died in August 1978. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was lung cancer. Bruce Catton was a Pulitzer Prize-winning historian, best known for his vivid Civil War narratives and popularizing historical writing. Tom Wilson, he was born in March 1931 and he died in September 1978. His age was 47 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Tom Wilson was a groundbreaking music producer who shaped the sound of the 1960s with artists like Bob Dylan and Frank Zappa. Mike Gazella, he was born in October 1895 and he died in September 1978. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was car accident. Mike Gazella was a utility infielder for the Yankees during the 1920s and later became a baseball scout and manager. Bertha Parker Palin, she was born in August 1907 and she died in October 1978. Her age was 71 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Bertha Parker was a pioneering Native American archaeologist recognized for her fieldwork and contributions to anthropology. Ralph Metcalfe, he was born in May 1910 and he died in October 1978. His age was 68 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Ralph Metcalfe was a United States sprinter and later a congressman. He won Olympic medals and was part of the famed 1936 relay team. Post-athletics, he served in Congress championing civil rights. He remains an example of athletic and political legacy. Nancy Spungen, she was born in February 1958 and she died in October 1978. Her age was 20 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was homicide. Nancy Spungen was known as the girlfriend of Sex Pistols' Sid Vicious. Her troubled life and tragic death symbolized the dark side of the punk era. She became a pop culture figure through books and films. Her story remains controversial and haunting. Kettle Annie, she was born in November 1882 and she died in November 1978. Her age was 95 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Kettle Annie was a teenage outlaw in the American Old West alongside Little Bridges. She ran with Dolan Dalton gang. Her story inspired books and films. Later in life, she lived quietly, far from her infamous past. Norman Rockwell, he was born in February 1894 and he died in November 1978. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was emphysema. Norman Rockwell was America's iconic illustrator capturing the nation's ideals. His nostalgic, detailed artwork defined mid-20th century Americana. He portrayed everyday life with warmth and humor. Rockwell remains a symbol of American visual culture. Jim Jones, he was born in May 1931 and he died in November 1978. His age was 47 at the time of his death, and he took his own life. Jim Jones founded the People's Temple, initially seen as progressive. His paranoia led to one of the history's largest mass suicides. Over 900 died in Jonestown under his command. His legacy is one of tragedy and cult manipulation. Leo Ryan, he was born in May 1925 and he died in November 1978. His age was 53 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was assassination. Congressman Leo Ryan was killed during an official visit to Jonestown. He was investigating abuses by the People's Temple. His death marked a pivotal moment in United States history. Ryan is remembered as a courageous public servant. Don Ellis, he was born in July 1934 and he died in December 1978. His age was 44 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart failure. Don Ellis was an innovative jazz musician known for odd time signatures. He fused jazz with electronics and classical elements. His band redefined modern big band music. Ellis remains a cult favorite in avant-garde jazz circles. Margaret Mead, she was born in December 1901 and she died in November 1978. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was pancreatic cancer. Margaret Mead was a pioneering anthropologist who challenged societal norms. Her studies on cultures and genders revolutionized social science. She was a prominent public intellectual. Her legacy endures in anthropology and feminist thought. Lyman Bostock, he was born in November 1950 and he died in September 1978. His age was 27 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was homicide. Lyman Bostock was a rising MLB star tragically killed in a shooting, known for his sportsmanship and high batting average. Eddie Stumpf, he was born in May 1894 and he died in October 1978. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Eddie Stumpf was a dedicated figure in early American baseball. While never a major league star, his work as a scout helped shape future talents. His career reflected baseball's evolution through the 20th century. He was revered among insiders for his knowledge. Evelyn Berkman, she was born in October 1900 and she died in September 1978. Her age was 77 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Evelyn Berkman was an American author and composer best known for her Gothic mystery novels and work in classical music, in addition to her novels and screenplays. She also wrote 4 non-fiction titles about British naval history. Roy L. Dennis, he was born in December 1961 and he died in October 1978. His age was 16 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was craniodiaphyseal dysplasia. Roy L. Dennis lived with a rare bone disorder and inspired many through his courage. His story was later adapted into the film Mask. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.